Change is hard at first, and then it becomes mundane in the middle, but it becomes magnificent at the end. The trick, the secret to success is to do it, is to just start one little step at a time, one day at a time, one breath at a time. Stick with it. My challenge for you this week is to stick with your yoga for this week. Stick with it, do it every single day. Maybe it's 10 minutes. That's fine. That'll work. It'll work. It's a step in the right direction. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. Best part about doing it at home, you can do it when you want to do it. You don't have to commute anywhere. You can do it in your pajamas if you want. Nobody's watching. You don't have to keep up with the guy next to you who goes into the perfect handstand on one arm, or you just do it your way. You take the breaks when you need to. You run to the bathroom when you need to. You have your drinks, your water, or your coffee, your tea, whatever. Make it work for you. That's the trick. All right, so the bottom of the screen says do what's right for your body. Don't hurt yourself. Something hurts. You know if it hurts or not. Don't do it. Today, this morning, when I was practicing, I was going into my chair pose and my left knee started bothering me. And I'm thinking, I need to take that easy today. Listen to your body. Listen to your body and don't hurt it. Really, really important. Maybe you take a pose to maybe 50% or maybe just 10%, or maybe you say, I got to listen to my body and I got to skip that pose. Not every pose is for every body. Trust yourself. You know a lot. You know a lot about you, so trust that. Okay, the word to think about today is the word present. Present means to be present. To be present, to be here in this moment. You've given the time. You said you're going to try it. Really be present on your mat. Don't worry about what's coming up next. Don't worry about the past. Focus on you. Focus on your breath. That's the most important thing. You'll get through it and you'll have a really good day because of it. All right. Grab your props. A couple yoga blocks, a towel, a strap maybe, and your water. Let's come on up to a standing position, and we're going to start with our little warm-up. Every day is different. I think I've told you that. Every day is different in our practices. Come check them out. Do what you can with what you got. You'll get comfortable and familiar with a lot of the poses, but we like to change things up too to make it fresh and new and exciting. Okay, here's the first thing I want you to do is lock in a stress number in your head. On a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, where are you? Give it a number and let's start. All right, so your feet are a little wider than hip width distance apart. Place your hands on your hips. Maybe you've got a chair nearby for balance. That's good too. Let's take this pose of confidence. In a confidence pose, think of your chest puffing up, lifting up, hands on your hips, elbows back, shoulders down. A lot to remember. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Find your feet. Find your feet. Maybe lift and wiggle your toes. Give them a wiggle. Maybe move a little bit from side to side. Feel the mat beneath you. You can't even think about what does the mat feel like, but be present. What does the mat feel like? And then lift on up to the balls of your feet. Lift on up and then come on down. And try to keep your heels behind your ankles. Don't let them splay out to the sides or collapse inward. Keep your heels in line with your toes as you lift and lower. So warm up the feet, the ankles, the calves, and focus. I always talk about focus. Focus forward. Maybe don't look at the screen. Look up to maybe where the wall and your ceiling meet, and lift and lower. And just focus inward. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe rock onto your heels and lift your toes up again and give them a wiggle. And then re-find your feet. Move, lift, lower, and breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Chest is lifted, your neck is long, shoulders are back and down. Calves are on fire. I think it's time to stop. Let's plant our feet solidly on the ground. Lift your arms up high to the sky. Interlace your fingers. Send your palms up to the sky and start to sway gently from side to side in your palm tree pose. You can adjust your legs. What feels better? Maybe bring them in a little bit. Whatever feels good. Chin away from the chest. Shoulders are back. Don't let one shoulder come a lot further forward than the other. Keep your shoulders equal distant to the front of your room. So maybe that top shoulder, when you bend to a side, has to come back a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe out. So it's a sideways flexion of your spine. Let it feel good. Hang out on one side for a little bit and just feel the increase of the space between the ribs. Let it feel good. Think of your arm nice and long as you reach to the side. Little bend in your elbows might feel good, or maybe you want to straighten them out some more. You know you. Let's come up to the midline. Hang out on the other side for a little bit. Top shoulder back, chin away from your chest. Breathe here. Sigh it out, let it feel good. Come back up to the midline of your body, release your fingers, take that extended mountain pose. Arms are lifted, pinkies spiraled in a bit. Bring your shoulders down just a little bit. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take a baby back bend here. You can leave your arms high to the sky. You can place your hands at your low back. Push your belly forward, squeeze your elbows back, and look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, or look higher overhead. You decide how you want to do the arms. And then when you're ready, come back up to that extended mountain pose. Then hands through prayer center, let them float to your chest, and then fold forward. Breathe out. Then let your arms come toward the earth. Little bend in your knees. That's kind of the ticket to making this pose work as one of the early poses of our practice. Wiggle your knees a little bit. Gaze down towards your knees or up towards your belly button. Fingers can reach the earth or not. It's up to you. Whatever feels good. You want to lengthen and stretch out your spine. Little wiggle in the hips. Kind of encourages that finding of the length. Shake your head a little bit, move your neck, and don't sweat it. It's only yoga. You've done things that are a lot harder than this. Just breathe. I'm going to still my legs. I'm going to sweep my arms up to the side. I'm going to roll my spine up one vertebra at a time. Come back to that extended mountain pose. Lengthen up. Wiggle your toes. Now let your arms float down to a letter T shape. Go ahead and draw little circles with your extended arms on the sides of your room. Draw little circles, and as you do that, add in the knees. Maybe when the hands come down, the knees bend. When the hands go up, the knees straighten. So you take the bend to what feels good for you. You do it at the pace that feels good for you. We're just warming up, letting the body know that some good movement is coming. Circle your arms in the other direction. Bend in the knees, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're moving and you're present. You are being here. All right. Let's finish. Bring your arms down by your sides. Shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. Maybe eyes are closed or not. It's up to you. Big coat swing. To do that, twist to one side, look over your shoulder, then twist to the other. Your arms are long and heavy and not holding on. No tension in the shoulders, only the weight in the arms. Pulling the fingertips toward the earth. As you twist, you touch one hip and your backside, then the other side. Sigh it out, let it go. Don't hold on. We hold on to too much. You got to let go to get something new. And the something new that you're going to get, that you're going to experience, is change. Change for the better. As you are more flexible and more mobile and stronger. Who doesn't want all of those characteristics? All right, let's slow it on down. Slow it on down, come back to the midline of your body. Next pose we're gonna do is ragdoll. Feels so good on the low back. Here's what you wanna do. Arms, reach for opposite elbow creases, hinge forward at the waist, look down to your toes, to your ankles, to your knees. Look up toward your belly button maybe. Let your arms hang toward the earth. Put a little bend in your knees. Your feet, they should be about hip width distance apart. That's 2 fists if you want to measure since you're hanging out down here. And breathe out. Breathe in, let it go. Try that bend in the knees. Deepen that stretch. How does it feel? Maybe straighten the knees and see how that feels. Breathe in. Let it go. Start to sway your elbows, one toward the knee, then the other toward the other knee.
Eyes can be opened or closed. Let it feel good as you decompress your low back. Maybe take the sway a little bit longer. We took the sway a little bit longer when we did our palm tree pose. Maybe take the sway a little bit longer here and hang out on one side a teeny bit longer than usual. Breathe. And then let's finish. Come back to the midline of your body, but no rush here. Lift your toes up, give them a wiggle. Let your gaze go back even more towards your belly button. Breathe in. Breathe out, decompress. And then release your fingers down to your mat. Come on down to take a child's pose. Bend in your knees. Come on down. Child's pose, you know there's several ways to take it. You can use a block or no block at all. You could have a half-size block. If you see one of those at the store, pick it up. Give it a go. Knees together, big toes touching, hips back to the heels. Forehead can come to the block, whichever size works. Maybe the high height, I can do a little bit more, so maybe I graduate to a medium height. Or maybe I graduate to the ground. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. In this pose, think of your shoulders away from your ears. Palms are face up, fingers reaching toward the bottom of your mat. A little pose of surrender. Surrender is good. That's how you can grow. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe sigh it out through your mouth. And stay here in your classic child's pose position. If you'd like to do an extended child's pose, to do that, you would spread your knees wide, big toes still touch, hips back to your heels. Use a block or not under your forehead, or place your blocks at the top of your mat. We're going to really get into the shoulders here if you want to. Place my hands on the mat or on the blocks. I'm going to bring my forehead down to either a block or the mat. And breathe. All right, so in either pose, what we're going for here is that pose of surrender, the pose of coming into your present moment. The body's warmed up. We checked that block. Now you are surrendering. Surrendering to yourself here, surrendering. Lengthening through the spine. Tailbone is back to the heels. Arms are getting a nice stretch in this extended child's pose. Knees are getting a nice bend, and so are the ankles. Lengthen as you inhale. And soften as you exhale. Either variation of the pose is great. Close your lips if you're ready and breathe in and out of your nose. Listen to the sound of your breath in the back of your throat. Feel the expansion of your back to the sides of the room as you take a big inhale. And as you take that complementary partnership exhale, soften. Send your tailbone back even more. Let your belly button go more toward your spine. Breathe in, breathe out. Child's pose. Stay here longer if you like. Great for the spine, great for the low back, for the knees, for the quads, for the ankles, for the shoulders. All good. All right. You've got your Ujjayi pranayama breath going on. Lips are closed if that suits you. Let's come out of this pose. We're easing into our Monday. Let's come into a neutral tabletop position. Don't let your blocks go too far. We're going to come back to them in a bit. In your neutral tabletop position, let's do our cat-cow pose. So when you're ready, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, push all four limbs hard into the earth, bring your back, arch it up to the sky, and then take the opposite, the complementary pose, cow pose. Tailbone lifts and the crown of your head lifts. Keep pushing the feet into the mat. And then do a few more cat-cows to your pace of breath. You exhale on the cat because your belly button is tucked to your spine. You feel like you can hollow out your belly here and just get that arch bigger. And then on cow, you let your belly come toward the earth and let your tailbone go to the sky as the crown of your head lifts. So there's your cat-cow. Classic cat-cow. Continue doing it longer if you like. I'm going to go into a cat pulling its tail pose. You can join me if you want, or just keep up with the cat-cow. It just feels really, really good. All right, I'm going to extend the right leg long. I'm going to press the ball of the right foot into the mat, and I'm going to find length here in my right leg. I'm going to make sure my right hip is dialed down, so both hips are equal distant to the mat. I want to keep my shoulders over my wrists. Let that feel good, and I'm going to lift the straightened leg up. Now you can stay right here. You can pulse the leg up nice and straight. You can bend the knee and act as if you're kicking yourself in the bottom, kind of like a donkey kick pose. And then if you'd like, you can reach your left arm around and capture your right foot. Kick into your hand. Kick into the hand, really strong here. Feel your left collarbone kind of opening up. Look to the left side of your mat, look to the left side of your room, or look over your left shoulder. Keep pressing into the earth and keep kicking hard into that back hand. Breathe, cat pulling its tail, that's what it looks like. And then bring your hand down and your knee down. All right, got another side to excel and succeed with this pose. So plant your ball of your left foot down on the mat, extend the leg long. Check out your hips, make sure they're equidistant to the mat. Press hard into your ball of your foot. Hold it here, keep it here, maybe lift it up. Maybe pulse it up a little bit. Check out your hips, make sure they're equidistant to the mat. Maybe bend the knee and kind of kick yourself in the bottom. Stay there if you like. Push hard into the mat, re-engage that pull, and then grab onto the foot. Kick into the hand and feel the right collarbone open up. Look to the right side of your mat. Pull, kick, you got it. You got it. You totally got it. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it, and you can do it. That's where it starts, in your head. All right, when you're ready, release the foot, release the ankle, do another cycle of cat-cow. There you go. Maybe 1 or 2 cycles, or maybe you've been doing cat-cow and you said, I don't want to do cat pulling its tail, so I'm not doing it. Good for you. Let's tuck our toes under. Let's do a toes pose. All right. Sit back, draw your toes towards your shins. Have a seat on your heels. Now, if it's a little too much, you could always take a block and put it behind your bottom and sit back here. Totally fine, totally good. The objective is to stretch out the feet, to feel the fascia in the feet kind of softening, kind of warming, kind of just giving you more mobility here. All right, so you can stay there, keep the blocks with you if you like, and keep your hands on the blocks. You can hinge a little forward if it's at all painful. Remember, pain, no pain. You don't want any pain. All right, I'm going to sit back on my heels. I'm going to take my towel. You could take your strap too. And let's take this towel and let's do those cow face arms. All right, so lift one arm up, hold on to the towel, the one that's got the towel. Let the towel hang down your back. Draw with your other hand, hug your elbow in towards your ear. Ooh, feel that good stretch there. Reach the other hand, the free hand around, grab the towel and pull it down. All right, soften in the shoulders. Find space there and pull that towel down. You can floss your shoulders. That's, moving the towel a little bit up and down. Finding shoulder mobility, so important. All right, nice job. Let's take it to the other side. Put the towel in the other hand. Bend that elbow, bring it up close to your ear, hug it in. Then take your hand, bring it around and pull the towel and give it a good strong hold. Hi, Marietta. I'm glad you're here. Tyrone, you too. Liz, Diane, Betty, Stan, Rena, Tim, Kelly, Anita, Arena, how are you? Nancy, Stephen, Barbara. Good to see you guys. All right, pull on that towel and floss, floss, floss. Gotta floss every day. Floss your shoulders. All right, how are you doing? All right, let's take our hands away. How are the feet doing? Don't think about them. If they're painful, come out of them, but hang on here. Let's tee out our arms nice and wide and then give yourself a big hug. Arms crossed in front of your body, elbows stacked. Reach your fingers toward your spine. Soften the shoulders away from the ears and expand the shoulders to the side of the room. Tight hug. Let's do it on the other side. Tee out your arms. Bring the other arm on top as they crisscross in front of you. Fingers towards your spine. Soften in the shoulders. Expand your shoulders to the side of the room. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You got it. Nice job. Let's come out of this pose. Let's come into a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up. Oh my goodness, that was a long toes pose. Squeeze and scrunch those weary toes. Oh my goodness. Circle the ankles in both directions and then tap the tops of your feet out to give yourself a drum roll. All right, nice job. Let's sit back onto our heels, tops of your feet on your mat. This is your ankle pose. Take your 2 blocks. Don't have blocks? Don't worry about it. You can use your hands. Press into the blocks as if the ground were coming up to you, or press your hands into the mat. Sit back on the tops of your feet. Balance on the tops of your feet. You got it. Maybe bring your hands to prayer center. Maybe close your eyes. And every time we bring our hands to this prayer center position, I always like to have a little mantra in my head that's a positive, affirmative statement about myself. So think, I am fill in your blank today. I am strong. I am good enough. I am doing it. Whatever it is, make it positive and come back to it. Find your balance here. Hands are no problem. Blocks are no problem. It's all good. Stretch out your ankles. And then let's finish. Let's come back to your neutral tabletop. Same drill. Pick up your feet. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle the ankles in one direction, then the other. Then tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. We did cat-cow. Let's do a bird dog pose now. Find length and extension in your spine, improving the alignment of your spine. To begin, lift your right leg up, knee to about hip height. Check out your hips. Make sure they're equidistant to the mat. Extend your right leg long. Draw your toes towards your shin. So have some strength here in that extended leg. Push into your hands. You could use your block at the top of the mat. Perhaps extend the left arm long, the opposite of the leg that's extended. Reach and stretch. Spread your fingers wide. Thumb up like a hitchhiker. Hold on here. Lift that back leg a little higher. You could hold on to that block if you want some more stability. Keep the leg lifted. Keep the leg strong. Keep the glutes engaged. Find length and strength in your spine. You're looking down kind of to your right thumb, lengthening through the crown of your head. Hold it and stay strong. And then finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down, other side. Lift your left leg. Lift it a smidge higher. Extend your left leg long. Draw your toes toward your shin. Leg is lifted. Hips are nice and even toward the ground. Right arm reaches long and stretches, and fingers are spread wide. Push hard into the earth. Hold it here. This is your bird dog pose. Nice alignment of the spine, nice length through the spine. Thinking of the crown of your head going even further forward to the front of your room. Stretch, lengthen. That heel is striving to reach the back of the room. Hold it. Push into the earth. Stay strong. Lift the leg a little bit higher. And then finish. Knee bends. Comes down to the earth. Hand comes down to the earth. Nice job. Take a cat-cow. Chin to your chest, tailbone under. Inhale, cow pose. Come on down to your bottom. You can grab your strap or your towel. We're just going to do a seated forward fold. Toes up toward the sky. You can have nothing at all, or your strap or your towel. I'll use the strap. I'm going to place the strap gently under the center of my feet. Going to lengthen up through the crown of my head, and then I'm going to just bring my chest forward. Gaze is forward, chest is forward. Pull onto your strap if you want. Elbows hugged in. Fold forward some more. Keep your gaze forward. Now make this a restorative forward fold. To do that, let your gaze go down towards your knees. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold. No rush, no hurry. Enjoy how this feels. Your spine is long, thanks to that bird dog pose. Your spine is flexible, thanks to that cat-cow pose and your extended mountain pose, and even with your palm tree pose. Your spine has mobility here. Soften in your shoulders, hollow out your belly. Eyes can be opened or closed. I like to close them and just imagine that my nose is touching my knees. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. You have length in your spine, like I said, thanks to bird dog, but also thanks to that ragdoll pose. You've got length and space in your low back. That space is allowing you to take this forward fold, this seated forward fold, even deeper. Breathe. Big breath in. Yeah, your belly's going to push against your thighs. It's going to lift you up a little bit, but then soften as you exhale. Remember that cue of tucking the belly button to the spine? Here's where that pays off. Belly button goes back to the spine so you can fold even more forward. Another breath or two. Feeling the goodness of this stretch in the backs of your legs and up through your spine. Lengthen through your spine, allowing your chest to come closer and closer to your thighs. And then let's slowly finish. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. How was that? All right, think of all that strength and that flexibility and mobility in your spine. Let's work on the other aspect of strength by doing a plank. You knew it was coming. Just about every day we do a plank here. We set a timer for 1 minute. You do it as long as you like. Everybody's different, lots of variations of plank. You could lie on your back and send your arms up to the wall, up to the ceiling, imagining you're in a 180-degree out plank. Totally fine. You could come back to your neutral tabletop, sending your knees back a little further, your arms a little more forward, and hinging your shoulders over your wrists, putting the strength and weight into your arms. Bend your elbows a little bit like you're going to do a push-up and stay here in your knee plank. Keep your bottom down and lengthen through your spine. You could take a high plank. To take your high plank, you could press into the balls of your feet, extend your legs long, hinge your shoulders forward, press into the mat, and stay nice and flat like a plank, like a board. Today, I'm going to take it on my knees. I'm going to take a dolphin plank. To do that, your elbows are going to come down to the ground. Your forearms are going to be parallel to the earth, hands spread wide, shoulders over your elbows, and your arms are parallel like number 11s. You can stay on your knees or you can tuck your toes under and pop on up. We're going to set a timer, and we're going to set that timer right now. It's 1 minute on the screen, and let's go. All right, so take the variation of plank that speaks to you. Alignment is important. You want your arms nice and straight and strong. You want your legs nice and straight and strong. Or if you're on your knees, have your knees under your hips. Think of energy shooting out your heels like it did in Bird Dog. Maybe close your eyes, hold here, strengthen through your core. All right, we are about halfway there. Hold on here. Find strength in the tenacity, in the sticking with it, in the persistence. I love the saying, patient endurance. Hold on here. Be patient, stay strong. You can do this. We have 20 seconds to go. You've done harder things in life. You can do this. Stay strong, stay engaged in the core in this isometric exercise. We have less than 10 seconds to go. Take breaks if you need to, no problem. Come out of it when you need to, and let's all come out of it now. There you go. There's a 1 minute plank. I don't know which variation you took, but applaud yourself. You did it. You showed up. Let's do some other core things. All right, so come on down to your bottom. Maybe have your strap or your towel nearby. Strap might be better. Let's do those Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. All right, soles of the feet touch, knees open wide. If you want, put your block under your feet. So soles of the feet are touching. So the pinky toe side of the foot is on the block or on the mat. Knees open wide. I'm going to go back to my mantra here, hands at prayer center. Always come back to thinking good things with your hands in prayer. Lengthen up. And then come on back to reclined. All the way down, nice and slowly, because you can, because your core is strong. I'm gonna hike that block up closer to my groin. Knees are open wide, getting a nice stretch in those adductor muscles. And in the hips, feels pretty good. Bend your elbows, fingertips lightly to your ears. Elbows open wide, knees open wide. When you're ready, exhale out of your mouth and lift in the shoulders. Maybe shoulder blades come up and then come down. Lift and lower, lift and lower. You lift on the exhale because you're hollowing your belly out. Lift and lower. Breathe. You can keep the shoulders lifted and pulse a little bit. Drive the elbows back, drive the knees back, and pulse through your chin. You're keeping your neck nice and straight and in line with your spine. Breathe. You're looking up to the sky. Breathe. Lifting and lowering all the way down to the ground, or doing your little pulses. You decide. You decide whatever you do, and make good decisions.
All right, the decisions you make today affect your tomorrow, so move. You all know movement is good for you. Come on down, all the way down. I'm gonna kick the block aside. All right, we're gonna do bicycle pose. We're gonna do a Pilates bicycle today, kind of the old-fashioned bicycle, but here's what I'd like you to do. I'm gonna come on up. Take a block or two and put it off of the top of your mat. You know where this is going. All right, so you're seated at about the center of your mat. Everybody's height is different, so this might or might not work for you. All right, so your bicycle pose. Take it any way you like. Today, I'm gonna send my hips up to the sky, and I'm gonna pedal as if my bike were in the air. Keep your neck nice and straight as you're looking up towards your feet. You're holding onto your hips like a stationary bike, holding on here. Pedal to your legs and breathe. All right. There's your Pilates bicycle pose. I'm gonna send my feet up to the sky. This is actually called a shoulder stand. Legs nice and straight as you can get them. Hold it here. And then let one leg, like scissors, come overhead. And you know that block we put there? Maybe your toes can reach toward it. Maybe you can find it with your foot. Lift a leg back up. Take the other leg. Maybe you can find that block here. Legs go back up. Maybe both legs come overhead. And the block is only there to show you, I guarantee, the ground is a lot closer than you think it is. Breathe. Let your toes come toward the block or the earth. Find it if you can. And when you're ready, roll on up to a seated position. There you go. All right, so you know your spine, you know your bone strength. Just be careful. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, check with your doctor before you rock and roll on your spine. That plow pose, maybe you got there, maybe you didn't. It's no big deal. You kind of know where the block should be now. Kind of remember this, because we're going to come back to it after we stretch out some more and just see how it goes. All right, so there's your plow. Let's come into a boat pose. You could use your strap or your strap would be the best thing. Towel might be a little too short. Place your strap under your feet and lean on back into your boat. Legs can lift, elbows hugged in, toes drawn towards your shins, chest is lifted, and your back is nice and straight. Hold on here. This is your boat pose. You can stay with the strap or no strap at all. You can have a little bend in your knees if that feels good. You can keep your hands at prayer center. You can reach your arms towards your feet or up toward the corner of your room or up overhead. Hold it here. I'm going to put a little bend in my knees. I'm going to put a bend in my elbows, and I'm going to bend while I'm balancing still. Elbows to knees and then extend. Elbows to knees, extend. A few times, if you like. You don't have to. And I'm going to come back to boat. Gonna bring my hands under my knees, gonna lean back in this little variation of boat and just hold on. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring your heels down. Send your legs long, with or without a strap, your call. Put the strap under the center of your feet if you like. Hug your elbows in. Gaze forward, chest lengthens. Exhale, restorative forward fold. Bring your forehead to your knees like we did earlier. Breathe in. Hollow out the belly, forward fold. Breathe in, hollow out the belly, forward fold. No strap, no problem. Hug to your ankles, elbows hugged in towards your knees, or hug your feet in, or drape your wrists over your toes. Stretch out the feet a little bit more and let your head come towards your knees. Breathe in, breathe out. Finish, shoulders over your hips. The more you do it, the more you do anything, the easier it gets, right? And you do it more often, the movement thing with your yoga, you're gonna get more flexible and more mobile. Let's work on the hips with a lunge. Grab your 2 blocks, come to a standing on your knees position. Place your blocks on your mat. Bring your right leg forward, knee over ankle. Send your left leg long. This is the trick right here. Send the leg super duper long. Place the top of that foot on the mat. Hold on here, press into your blocks, maybe lengthen through that back foot a little bit more. Press into the blocks, maybe press your fingertips into the blocks, bringing your shoulders over your hips, and maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you put your hands on your hips, it's all good. It really helps
to press both feet. You don't have sets of feet. Your feet into the ground. Press the right foot into the ground. Press the top of the left foot into the ground. You feel more stable. I'm going to lift my arms up to the sky, and I'm going to take a little baby back bend to intensify that stretch even more. Ah, my goodness. Shoulders over the hips, hands to prayer, mantra time. Hands back to the blocks. Let's surf it out. Leg straightens and then bends. The right leg's the only one we're thinking about. Straightening and bending. And you know, it's your yoga. Remember, how does it feel on the bottom of the knee? Modify it if it doesn't feel good. If it doesn't feel good on that left knee, put a towel under it or fold your mat over a couple times. All right, you're moving the right leg back and forth, and the left leg's getting a movement too. You can ditch the blocks, or you can use the blocks to walk back. Walk back with the blocks and have a seat on your heels. Walk forward with the blocks, no problem using the blocks. You're still getting this great stretch. I'm gonna put my hands at prayer center. I'm gonna bend that left knee, straighten through the right leg, toes up to the sky, and then come forward. Play with it. Another layer is to close your eyes here and to try to do it with the eyes closed. See what you think. Let's switch. Both knees meet on the mat, left foot forward. Same thing, knee over ankle on the left leg. Press into the blocks to send that right leg super duper long. Stay right here if this feels super good for you. Intensify it if you want. Shoulders more over the hips. Hands to prayer center, shoulders more over the hips. Push into both feet. Perhaps arms lift. Perhaps gaze goes up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, or directly overhead. Hands back to prayer center, shoulders over hips. Hands back to the blocks. Start to surf. Left leg straightens and bends. Using your blocks or no blocks at all, take it back as far as you like and bring it forward as far as you like. Make it work for you. That's always the ticket, right? Make it work for you. Breathe. And when you're ready, I think we're about even here, we'll finish up in this pose. Come back to the standing on both knees position. When you're ready, we're going to go into a downward facing dog. Maybe you've got those blocks at the top of your mat. Place them down at a stable height at the top of your mat. Put your hands onto them. Tuck your toes under. You don't have to use the blocks. Your hands could be flat on the mat. Tuck your toes under. Send your hips high. Take this downward dog. All right, feet are hip width distance apart, heels are slightly lifted, pedal them out. Press into your hands, lift your tailbone high to the sky, shake your neck, and loosen up here. Think of your tailbone with a string attached to it, pulling it up to the sky. Breathe. Push hard into your blocks or the mat. And when you're ready, we'll finish. Still your feet. Walk your feet to meet your hands or your hands back to meet your feet. Remove your blocks and sweep your roll your spine up as you sweep your arms to the side and lengthen up. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Palms together to touch. Soften up in the shoulders. Hold them here. Lengthen up through your fingers. One thumb crosses over the other. Root firmly into your feet. Lengthen up and take your half crescent moon pose. So nice and long and straight like you do in a stick pose. Let your arms fall to the right. Breathe. Send your left shoulder back. Send your chin away from your sky. Send your chin away from your chest. Some of the things that come out of your mouth. I get elbows and knees confused. Go figure. All right, shoulder is back. Top shoulder is back. Reaching your fingers to the right side of your room. You're firmly rooted, equally rooted into your feet. Breathe here, chin away from the chest. Intensify the pose a little bit. Take your bottom hand, your right hand. Capture your left wrist and give it a tug. Give it a pull. Breathe. Remember when we did palm tree to warm up?
Fairly similar, right? All right, palms back together to touch. Inhale, slowly lengthen back up to that starting position. Think stick pose. How you reach through your fingers. Biceps are near your ears like we did in that cow face. Remember that? Lengthen, stretch. When you're ready, bring your half crescent moon to the left side. Straighten up, lengthen up. Hips are equidistant to the front of the room. Equal weight in both feet. Stretch, reach to the left side of your room. Chin away from the chest, top shoulder, left shoulder, or right shoulder is back. Breathe. Take your bottom hand, your left hand, pull your right wrist, and let it feel good. Soften in your bottom. Don't stress out over this. Pull the wrist. Let it feel good. Slowly bring the hands back to a prayer position and then slowly rise on up. Whew, lengthen up. Big breath in, float your hands down to prayer center. Big breath out. Mantra time. Breathe in. Soften up. Tree pose, Vrikasana. All right, so we're going to root into one foot. Open up the other leg to the side of the room. Bring the foot, the sole of the foot, inside the foundational leg. It can be heel to ankle. It can come a little bit higher. It can go higher still up into the thigh. The only place you don't want to put it, you know this. Don't put it on your knee. Your knee's not meant to bend sideways. Push your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. Here you will notice, this is kind of silly. You can put your hands on your hips or grow your branches or hold onto a chair. You will notice sometimes your yoga pants are slipperier than others. Some yoga pants are slippery. Some you get a lot of traction. It's true. And if you got a slippery pair of yoga pants, there's a particular variety that is really slippery, that this is hard to do. If you fall out, no big deal, get back in. Don't quit, don't end on a negative note. So anyway, maybe it's your yoga pants that are making it a little hard for you. It's up to you. Decide which variation you're gonna take, just don't quit. I'm gonna take a pressing into the calf. Hold on here, grow your branches, sway your branches. When you're ready, hands back to prayer center, knee guides to the front of the room, both feet meet on the mat. Other side, other chance to succeed and excel. Root into the other leg, open up the opposite leg, bring it on up to the calf, to the ground, or higher still, up into the thigh. You decide where you want it to be. Focus, look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Press the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Grow your branches if you like, sway them if you like. You're a strong tree. You got it. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Left foot meets right, right foot meets left. Toppling tree. Take a big step forward with one leg. I'm going to step forward with my right leg. I'm going to release my arms down by my sides and then let my arms meet behind my low back and interlace my fingers. My thumbs are now pressed into my bottom. My chest is open wide. Hinge forward into that standing front foot. For me, it's the right foot. I'm going to lift the left leg up. I'm going to work my hands away from my low back. I'm going to send my gaze down toward my mat, toward my right foot or my right knee. Right knee has a little bend in it, working the hands up the back wall, working the leg up to what is comfortable, and holding it, and with control. Left foot meets right on the mat. Come back to standing. Don't release your arms. Keep them interlaced. Keep them down. Keep your shoulders nice and open. Other side, step forward with your right foot. Hinge forward onto the right leg. Little bit of dancing on the back right toes. Maybe lift it out higher, higher, higher. Work the hands away from the low back. Take your toppling tree pose any way you like it, any way that works, any way that feels good today. With control, feet meet feet on the mat. Press into your low back. Open up your shoulders. Press down in your hands. Lift. You got it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release your arms. Send them high up to the sky. Take a chair pose, Utkatasana. For your chair pose, bend your knees. Arms reach long to the front of your room. Hold on here, sit your hips back onto your heels. Hands can be at opposite shoulders or prayer center. Come on up to the balls of your feet and hold it here. Hold it here. Release your hands if you like. Bring them behind your back. Have your palms face down. Have your pinkies in towards your bottom. So your chest is lifted and still facing forward. Stay right here. Hold it. Maybe pulse a little bit or not. Pulse, just, little movements up and down. Breathe. And then finish. Plant your heels, hands to prayer center. You're standing nice and straight. Take a big breath in. Big sigh out, fold forward. Reach your fingers toward your feet. Your gaze towards your knees. Walk your hands forward. Come on down to your knees. And let's do that seated, wide-legged forward fold. So you're seated. Grab your blocks. Place them between your legs. Send your legs nice and wide. Blocks in between your legs, however you like. Maybe bring your forehead to your blocks. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, maybe widen your legs a little bit more. Maybe use your hands to help them. Forehead to your block. Or maybe it's your forearms to your block. It's all good. Just stretch it out here. And when you're ready, take a big breath in and a big breath out. Stay if you want. Stay if you want, no problem. All right, I'm gonna bring my legs back together at the midline. Gonna bring my toes up toward the sky. I'm gonna lift my arms up. Gonna reach my arms forward. Gonna reach down for my feet, my ankles, my calves. Then I'm gonna take that forward fold again, reaching my gaze toward my knees. Breathe in, breathe out. You're an expert at this now. Maybe a little bend in your knees feels good. Maybe that's just what you need. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. Let's come on down to to our bellies. So come to a neutral tabletop. Send your knees back a little bit. Hinge a little more forward, like when we talked about doing that knee plank. And then slowly lower down, keeping your elbows hugged in. Slowly lower down, all the way down to your mat. Bring your forearms onto the mat, knees or elbows. See, there we go. Elbows under shoulders. Press your hands into your mat. Send your gaze forward. Think like you're a sphinx. Hold on here. Compression in the low back. Let's do it again. Intensify it a little bit. Bring your gaze down to your mat. Slip your hands, about 12 inches down so they're under your collarbones. Hug your elbows in. Now zip your legs up and press the tops of your feet into your mat. Gaze forward as best you can, pressing the tops of your feet into your mat. More compression in the low back. Maybe lift your hands a little bit or a lot, squeezing your elbows toward your spine, then squeezing your elbows toward your feet. There's your cobra. Hands come down, gaze back down to your mat. Press into your hands, press on up into a seal pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come on up to a standing on your knees position. It helps to take a block and place it between your ankles at a high height, medium height, whatever. Take your yoga towel and your mask and place it up at the top of your mat. All right, take your hands behind your low back, pressing your pinkies in toward the bottom, toward the earth. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine and send your hips forward. Look up overhead and breathe. I'm going to take my left hand. I'm going to release my left hand. I'm going to reach for my left heel. I'm going to twist my body to the left. Right arm is pointing forward. I'm going to reach for that heel. Breathe. I'm going to reach up to the sky. I'm going to reach back to the back of the room. I'm going to reach the arm forward, come up from that heel, twist it back, maybe tee out the arms and pulse the arms back. Take the right arm, reach for that right heel as you look up to the sky. Send your left arm up to guide you. Right hand comes to the right heel or to that block. Hips are forward, look up. Maybe twist and reach the arm back. Come on up, back up. Shoulders over your hips. You got it. All right, let's remove the block. Let's come on down to our bottoms. Take that block, place it at the top of your mat. Or 2 blocks. Totally fine to have the 2 blocks. Come on down, float on down, hands to prayer center. Soles of the feet on the mat. Send your hands down by your sides. Push your weight into your feet. Ankles are under your knees. Press on up. Wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine. And lift here in your bridge pose. Stretch out your hips. Breathe. Roll your spine down 1 vertebra at a time. And when you're ready, legs go back up to the sky for your bicycle pose. Bicycle. Legs go straight up to the sky. Think shoulder stand. One leg comes down overhead. searching for that block. Maybe it doesn't find it, no big deal. Other foot comes down, searching for that block. Legs go back up. Take both of them. Both toes overhead, both toes go for the block or the earth. Keep holding onto your hips. Find what you can. And if you can't find the earth or the block, no big deal. Roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Come on back up to seated. Lengthen up. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Let it go. Nice job. We've got 2 more poses. Come all the way down. Float on down. You got it. Supine twist. Left leg long on your mat. Toes drawn towards your shin. Right knee bends. Using your little towel if you want. Right knee bent. Hug it in. Hug it in good and long. Drive the left leg long, driving through the heel. You can hold on here and stay right here. If you'd like, you can do the supine twist part. Left hand captures the right knee, roll onto the left hip, tee out your right arm and look right. Bring the hip back on down. Hug the knee in, circle the ankles, or the ankle in 2 directions. Send the right leg long. Find length in the right leg, draw the left leg up, hug the knee in, towel or no towel, circle an ankle here and there. Right hand guides the left knee across the midline of your body, left arm tees out, and you look left. Left hip down, gaze back up, hug the knee in again, circle an ankle, send the legs long onto your mat. All right. Heels toward the bottom edges of your mat. This is your final Shavasana pose. Arms down by your sides, palms face up if you like, or face down. Face down helps you feel more grounded and connected. Face up with the palms allows you to receive. Tuck your shoulders under your spine a little bit. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Your eyes can be covered with your eye shade or your towel, or maybe you bring a blanket to this practice too and you cover up your body. Breathe. Maybe come back to that breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let it go. Soften in your forehead. Let your eyes rest heavily in their eye sockets. Pinky toes fall toward the edges of the mat. Be present. Don't check out of your mind already. Be present just for a little bit longer. Just breathe. Take a deep breath in and a deep, slow breath out. If your remote control is nearby, you can hit pause and stay here longer. When you're ready to conclude your practice, you could just hit play again and join us right here. Take a deep breath in. And a deep sighing breath out. Refreshed, recharged, ready to face the day. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move that motion up into your wrists and your ankles. On an inhale, reach high overhead and stretch it out like it's the first stretch of your morning. Toes point, fingers reach, feel it in the shoulders. As you exhale, bend your knees and your elbows and roll into a fetal position on one side or the other. Bend your low arm. Have that bicep be a pillow for your head. Top shoulder is relaxed and away from your ears. Eyes are closed. Savor this one and only breath here. Full breath in to recharge you. And full breath out to refresh you. You've got it. Slowly float on up to a comfortable seated position, however you want to get there, using the hands or not. Sit however is comfortable for you in this moment. Bring your hands to prayer center. Press your hands, your thumbs into your chest. Lengthen up through your spine and soften up in the shoulders. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. Congratulations. All right. Stress number was, and in this present moment, what is that stress number now? It comes down, and that is just a nice little tangible way to measure what the yoga does for your head, not even to mention what it does for your body. The stretching feels good. All right, we practice every day. Come join us. We're waiting here for you. It's the end of the month, so finish it strong. Reward yourself with your yoga every single day this week. You are worth the investment. From us to you, much love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye. You're a good girl. Oh, God bless you. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.